A group of white-faced monkeys came out to forage for food. One of them accidentally steps on a trap. Then the white-faced monkey came to America on a freighter. A man working in customs, Jack, snuck it away, ready to sell it at a high price. I didn't expect the white-faced monkey to lose its temper on the way. After drinking a mouthful of water, he sprayed it directly into Jack's face. Although Jack didn't care, but he didn't know that it would cause a national catastrophe. Soon Jack took him to the pet store, but the owner took one look and was not happy. He said he wanted a male. Instead, Jack brought him a female monkey. What's more, the white-faced monkey scratched the owner. The white-faced monkey even scratched the boss's hand. This made the boss even more angry. Immediately asked Jack to take it away. Jack was helpless. Simply be a good guy for once and directly set it free. But not long after, Jack felt sick on the plane to Boston. He started to get dizzy and also started a high fever. It was thought to be just a common cold. He even hugged and kissed his girlfriend after getting off the plane, but the next second. Meanwhile, the owner of the pet store suffered from the same symptoms, fainted straight away. The owner was rushed to the hospital. Since this is a small town, the medical level is very average. Faced with such strange symptoms, the doctor did not understand what was going on, only to draw blood and take it to the laboratory. Who knows that the lab technician was working while listening to the game, accidentally spilled blood all over his face. On the other side, the CDC received news from Boston. 2 patients were infected with an unknown virus. Anna immediately asked her secretary to book a ticket to Boston, but when she arrived at the quarantine area of the hospital, it was already too late. Jack had long since stopped breathing. Beside him, his girlfriend lay bawling in the hospital bed. Anna couldn't ask what was going on. Had to perform an autopsy on Jack. The results surprised her. Jack's body was like a bomb had been thrown. All the internal organs were rotten. Anna suspected that the virus was Motaba. The Motaba virus is extremely phagocytic. It can overrun the human immune system in just a few hours. Luckily, Boston's big hospitals are better protected. It was quarantined in time. No one else has been found to be infected. But the town wasn't so lucky. The lab technician didn't even realize how serious it was. He went to the movies with his girlfriend that night. At the movie theater, he started coughing up droplets in the air. The virus began to spread around. The first infected people in the town appeared. Soon the hospital was full of infected people. The dean panicked, rushed to report it to the CDC. When the superiors were informed of the situation, immediately ordered the town to be sealed off. The next day Anna rushed to the town. I didn't expect to meet her ex-husband here. The ex-husband is a colonel military doctor at a level 4 institute. He wanted to come here to find out the source of the virus. Instead, he found out the military's big secret. The deadly virus spread rapidly through the town. The military immediately sent troops. The entire town was sealed off. No one was allowed in or out. The citizens became even more panicked. A few people tried to risk their lives to break out of the town, but they were quickly intercepted by helicopters. Saw they didn't stop, was going to shoot to scare them. I didn't expect the men to take out their guns and fire them at the helicopter. This finally angered the soldiers, shooting directly at the 3 people in the car. After strafing, the car directly exploded and caught fire. The family in the back of the car was directly stunned. The soldiers then drove them to a stop. The colonel here has isolated all the infected in the town, all centralized and quarantined. Just then, a doctor approached the colonel in a panic. He said there was a patient who was hospitalized last week. He's never been to a movie theater or touched an infected person, but he was still infected. The colonel looked around. It turns out that the ventilation ducts in the ceiling lead to the quarantine area. Instantly realized that the virus could already be airborne. A lab test revealed that the virus had mutated, which explains why it can survive in the air. But here's the strange thing. The owner of the pet store died of the original virus, and his blood spilled on the lab technician. The lab technician died of the new mutated virus. The time difference between the 2 deaths was less than a day. It's impossible for the virus to suddenly mutate. That's why the experts think the virus carrier's body contains 2 viruses. Combined with the fact that the owner runs a pet store, Sam guessed that the pathogen is likely to be an animal. So they immediately rushed to the pet store. Inside they found a very sick monkey. Laboratory tests showed that the monkey was infected with the original virus, and there were no antibodies in its body. All the clues were broken again. Just when they were at a loss, Sam's boss sent a large amount of anti-serum. They thought the town would finally be saved this time. However, the patients were injected with the anti-serum, but it did not have any effect. Sam took a packet of the serum and handed it to Tom. Let him give the monkey a shot. As a result, the monkey really got better. The serum really works on the original virus. But why did the supervisor not take it out at the beginning when the virus was found? The boss didn't take it out. What is the conspiracy in all this? Sam approached his boss with his doubts. He knew that this matter could not be hidden any longer, so he told Sam the truth. It turns out that 30 years ago at the Zaire military camp in Africa, soldiers suddenly contracted a virus. The local doctors couldn't do anything about it. The US Army sent someone over to draw blood. They raised the camp to the ground because they wanted to make this virus into a biochemical weapon. I didn't expect this virus to break out again 30 years later. Hearing this, Sam finally got angry. Sam said he could have stopped it from spreading but didn't. It was to protect this special weapon. Now the virus has mutated. They can't stop it anymore, the supervisor said.
The decision was made in the interest of national security. At the time, it was felt that we could afford a certain number of losses.
At this point, the town's infected are still growing. The hospital could no longer fit. It had to set up tents in the open space, moving some of the patients out. Those who are already dead are concentrated in a wooden house, directly burned and disposed of. A new virus has broken out into town. The death toll has exceeded 300. Scientists have been working day and night every day. Finally, one couldn't hold out, accidentally ripped his protective suit. He realized it was bad, immediately ran to fully disinfect. But it was too late. He was already infected with the virus, fainted on the ground, twitching up all over. Colleagues immediately resuscitated him. At this point, the patient began to regain consciousness. Anna immediately gave him an injection. Unexpectedly, halfway through the injection, the man suddenly convulsed violently. The needle in Anna's hand accidentally stabbed her own finger. It's over. Anna was also infected with the virus, and from infection to death, it's only a day or two at most. What's even scarier, the white-haired general falsely claimed in Congress the virus would spread across the country in 48 hours. The president had to agree with his suggestion. Prepare to drop an incendiary bomb on the town at 8 p.m. The power of this bomb is second only to the atomic bomb. It burns a lot of oxygen when it explodes. It will kill all living creatures and all viruses in the air for miles around. The virus will disappear at the same time as the town. Just when everything could not be undone, Sam suddenly received an important clue. They found out that the animal that Jack secretly took away, it was shipped from Africa on a cargo ship.
We gotta find that ship. Listen, my friend, you better pack. We got work to do.
Yes, sir.
Soon, he and Tom found the freighter at sea, but the plane couldn't land on the ship. Sam had to risk his life and prepare to jump. After successfully boarding the ship, Sam quickly tracked down the animal that carried the source of the disease. It turned out to be a white-faced monkey. He immediately ran to the TV station with Tom, by way of live broadcast, to the people of the country to solicit the news of this white-faced monkey. A woman saw it and panicked on the spot. The original monkey is her daughter just made a new friend. After receiving the message, the two Sams rushed to her house, hoping that the little girl's help would draw the monkey out.
Promise you won't hurt her?
I promise. If I hurt her, you can punch me in the nose.
The little girl took the apple, quickly lured the monkey out. Tom hid himself and was about to shoot. Suddenly, the little girl stood in front of the monkey. At that moment, the monkey opened its mouth with a fierce face. It was screaming with anxiety. Finally managed to shoot the white-faced monkey. The Sam duo returned to the lab. The antiserum was soon researched. Inject all the patients with it, then called their superiors to report the situation. But at this time, the white-haired general had already started to act. He, in order to keep the biochemical weapons, disregarding the general's discouragement, decided to blow up the town ahead of schedule.
You are to proceed immediately with Operation Clean Sweep. Is that understood? Over.
Informed, Sam rushes to board a helicopter with Tom to stop it. He contacted the pilot of the bomber, tells him the truth, tell them to call off the bombing, get back to the plane. The pilot hesitated, but military orders are like a mountain. They had to follow the orders of their superiors, open the hatch and prepare to drop the bombs. At this point, the general couldn't stand it any longer, picked up the radio and told Sam to stop them from completing their mission. You have to fly on the same course as him. Sam immediately told Tom to fly over and stop them from dropping the bomb. The pilot reported to his superiors, said Sam's plane was in front of them. They said to continue the mission and not to disobey. Sam said he would never go off course. He almost told the pilots to stay on course and drop the bombs as planned. Sam said he would go down with them.
We're not moving. We're not moving!
The pilot took the opportunity to drop the bomb because he knew the plane was off course. The bomb would not be dropped on the town. And sure enough, the bomb exploded at sea. This act alone cost the town over 2,000 lives.
Thank you, guys.
The white-haired general was furious, ordered the airmen to repitch again. This time the general finally couldn't take it anymore. Straight away grabbed the white-haired general's radio, ordered the pilot to return, then had his men arrest him, because he was guilty of withholding vital information from the president. At the end of the movie, all the infected people in the town recovered. The virus crisis is finally over.